Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
I record, I have, you know, like how Prince has his collection of music, his, what would you call that? The archives?
Yeah, the archives.
I've got that, but I've just got tons of podcast content that I just keep to myself.
Do you, like, have your whole house set for recording?
Yeah, everything is mic'd up.
Your bathroom's mic'd up, so you just have some thoughts.
In case he has some amusing thoughts on, you know, turkey breast, more like chicken breast.
Am I right?
And
What's
then-
the difference?
Yeah, and then he just has it, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe he uses something with it later on. Maybe he doesn't. But you
maybe
know,
he makes a mixtape like
it.
Baby Driver.
I'm a bit of a hoarder, but not with physical goods, just with content.
Yeah, content hoarding.
He's got terabyte drives out the wazoo.
It's got all the terabytes, all the gigabytes, all the megabytes.
And when Flash became more affordable, I had to buy a whole bunch of new Flash storage and move it all over to Flash.
Flash is on the way out.
It is.
What?
It's old news.
What am I spending my money on next?
Gigarams.
I hope we're recording. This is good content.
Yeah, we got.
This is kind of how we start it.
Yeah, we're trying to start it more natural, you know, and like just like a conversation with your friends, you know.
And you know how your friends just talk.
Yeah.
And you talk until you find that one little sound bit that it's like Adam, say something.
Cheese and crackers.
Movies.
Yeah,
we talk about movies.
Yeah.
Now,
All right. Welcome to another episode of Super FilmsCast 64. This is the show where we talk about movies.
Trey,
Yeah,
we talk about film.
that's right. It's films, not movies. Not this drivel you see at the cinema.
Yeah.
On a hot summer's day, that CGI trash.
I don't know about you guys, but I like to watch, I don't know, movies made by Orson Welles or, you know, maybe a Quentin Tarantino type.
Or a Lars von Trier type.
Whoa.
Yeah. I like never mind.
What do you like?
No, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to go there today. It's too early.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest.
You can't bring in your devil worship that soon.
We got Spencer Hall here. Spencer, how you doing, man?
I'm great. First time, long time.
Yeah, first time, long time.
Is that how first time, long time works?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
you've been on the show a long time.
Yeah.
First time listener, long time co-host. I just haven't spoken yet.
No,
He's been there supporting us.
getting your courage up to speak finally.
Yeah. It's been a journey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's talked almost as much as when we had Margot on.
Yeah, actually, probably has. Yeah.
Unbelievable. You have Margot Robbie on a films podcast.
I know.
She doesn't have anything
Yeah.
to contribute.
Mm-hmm. I know. She's shy. She's shy.
Well,
you know.
Trey started talking about Lars Van Trier.
Yeah,
movies.
like, you know, have you seen that movie Antichrist? Oh my God, where she cuts her thing and her bean.
You know that I haven't seen this movie, but she cuts her bean.
Don't worry about it. If you haven't seen it, it's better left unsaid.
Can you elaborate on this bean?
I would put it in the category of don't bring your first date to see this movie.
Okay.
Doesn't Shia LaBeouf have sex like for real?
That's
in that movie?
another one. That's
Which one is that?
Nymphomaniac.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Melancholia was another one in that Depression trilogy.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only Von Trier film I've seen.
That's a little more tame, right?
Yeah.
It's not the crazy batshit stuff.
It made me feel like shit.
Yeah.
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 So it was successful,
Mhm.
Yeah. It achieved what it was going for.
but like without all the benefit of like people having sex in the
Yeah.
woods.
Antichrist
Right.
made me
Nothing-
feel like shit.
Nothing to jerk off to. All the bad feelings.
Yes. Well, there was nothing to jerk off to in Antichrist either. Except
Well,
if you like talking
you said there was a girl
foxes.
cutting her bean.
Yeah, you don't want to jerk off to that.
Why?
You don't.
Oh,
It's gross.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting...
One man's trash is another man's.
I guess so,
treasure.
Adam. Whatever you're into, I guess. I can't say anything, I guess. 21st century.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, Spencer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well,
How did you come onto this podcast?
Well, I've been friends with old Adam here for going on, well, since high school. I don't want to count the years yet. I don't want to date myself. But
Oh man.
been friends
Let
with
me tell you, I would like to date myself. Finally, someone who would give me an orgasm.
Yeah, well,
You know all those guys out there just incapable of climaxing.
Yeah.
Let me hear from you guys. Call in.
I've been friends with Adam, like a longtime listener. Thought I'd give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Try this whole podcasting thing out. And
Yeah, you know, it's
saw some Logan Lucky, so ready to talk about that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that, but we start the show off with kind of what we've been watching lately.
Yeah.
And so maybe we could start with you, Spencer, since you're new. What have you been watching?
So aside from Logan Lucky, I caught Brigsby Bear last week. Loved that. That was just it's a cool, different paced kind of comedy. It was fun to watch that. And then on the TV front, just started The Good Place with Ted Danson. And
Taint on Taint.
That's from the guy who did Parks and Rec.
Oh, is
correct?
it? See, I
believe so.
I just started watching it today with Lexi.
Ken Tremendous.
It's a ton of fun. It's a kind of a show that you can kind of turn your brain off and watch, but you don't. It's not like
I may be wrong. Is it Kristen Bell?
it's Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking of.
What's
same
the
No.
show premise, I guess?
Oh, so the premise is it's basically Kristen Bell has died and gone to the good place, which is there are two places in the afterlife: the good place and the bad place.
Mm-hmm.
Not heaven or hell, but they call them the good place or the bad place.
This sounds like the setup to Antichrist.
Everything is a setup to Antichrist.
The Antichrist without the depression.
Okay.
Yeah, and seeing what's his name's balls. What's the
I'm only a few episodes in. No one's cut their bean off in this
No.
show yet.
No, that's
It's
good.
coming.
That means it's a good production.
The end of the 3-season arc.
But anyways, so Kristen Bell is not supposed
That's
to
how
be
Battlestar
in this good
Galactica
place.
ends, honestly.
So not supposed to be in this good place.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of following her, and because she's a terrible person,
Mhm.
or she was before she died. And so it's kind of just following her and a whole gang of actually really, really entertaining characters is trying to help her become a good person, fit in the good place. And her being a bad person in this good place is having terrible repercussions on the town
The rest
they're
of the
living
good
in.
place?
Yeah, the rest of the good place.
Interesting. There are 2 seasons of that so far?
I think
Or
the
is it-
second season starts in September
Okay.
on ABC.
I think I just got a notification from Netflix saying, like, you would like this show. So
I
maybe
think
I'll
you
give it a
would.
whirl, yeah.
I think you would. Those algorithms are firing on all
Algorithms.
cylinders.
Is it sort of like, what was the one? Dead Like Me? I think it was called Dead Like Me, where it's kind of a dark kind of comedy, or...
I didn't watch that, but it is not dark at all. It's
Okay.
it's very bubbly without being kind of over the top.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And then you also started watching Room 104, right?
I did. Oh yeah, Room 104 on HBO. It's a Duplass Brothers joint.
For all you mumblecore fanatics out there.
So normcore. But it's also really cool. It's a bunch of the way that show works is it's a series of vignettes. Every episode is a different story, ranging from horror to science fiction to comedy, all taking place in one hotel room. And it's been really enjoyable.
Like an
It's-
anthology, each episode's different, kind
Yeah,
of? Okay.
Right. And so it's really enjoyable, but it's really bizarre.
Mhm.
But it's also just really, each story is pretty creative, so it's fun to watch.
Cool.
Cool.
What have you been watching?
Anything else? Me?
Is it? I guess is it horror or?
There have been a lot of elements of horror, a
Yeah.
lot of elements of
But it just kind of depends on who's in the room,
Okay.
essentially. So
Right.
it can
That's interesting.
completely reset and be a totally
Right.
different show every time.
yeah.
I like that.
Like there's an episode with James Vanderbeek.
Huh.
Gotta love the Beaks.
Mhm.
It was pretty good, and that one was very much like a suspense and thriller, not as much a horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some episodes that are just kind of really more dramatic, science fiction-y. And yeah, kind of touches on all the
Mhm.
different.
So far, have
genres.
any like bled into the others? Where
Not yet. Everything is pretty self-contained.
I kind of like that more because then I don't know. There's a certain extent where you like okay, so this is all creating this world,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever happens in this episode, lasts and has an effect on other things. But then I think it's also kind of fun just to be like, I mean, what happens at this one time probably wouldn't have a huge impact
Right.
on everything else.
And it's sort of the story of that one place rather than story of all these other people. It's mainly about the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I think another thing about it is a lot of the times it'll end with sort of not every question is answered, and that's kind of what's enjoyable about it is it gives you kind of room for thought. Whereas if it was a continuation, maybe the story wouldn't have the same impact as the kind of bite-sized nature of it.
Yeah. On to me.
On
Yeah.
to Adam.
Okay, well, I've been watching. It's kind of a throwback to something that's been kind of like going on for a while. I have to imagine it's number one at the box office right now. It's that gosh darn Eclipse, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, the Eclipse. Oh.
Let me tell you all,
Kurt
number
event
one at
talk.
the box office because everyone at the office pulled out their boxes, poked little holes in it, and go out there and take a peek.
I don't like this podcast anymore.
You fell asleep. You probably slept through it, didn't you?
I didn't. I had a coffee before I went to sleep, so I woke up at like 11 or noon. I just stayed in my room.
Wait,
trying
so
to
the
avoid
coffee
it.
made you wake up earlier?
Yeah, you drink the coffee before you go to bed, and it makes you wakes you up a little earlier than you're supposed
sounds
to.
counterintuitive to
It is very
everything I've heard
counterintuitive.
about coffee.
It's very counterintuitive.
Trey's a special being.
I'm special.
Yeah, I get.
He reacts to coffee differently.
Hmm. I sometimes pass out if I have a lot of coffee. Sometimes I don't ever go to sleep. So
You ever take a 5-hour energy and just crash?
no, but with like energy drinks, I do.
Yeah.
Not 5 hour, but Red Bull or Monster. I'll crash. I never had a Rockstar though. Those just look
That was
gross.
That was the first energy drink I ever had. I went snowboarding and I was like, I need some pep.
I need to be a rock
And
star.
I was like, I don't want to be a Red Bull. I heard there's bull semen in that.
And you saw that video
True.
where the woman
Yeah.
was explaining about why Monster's the devil. Bottoms up.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to be a monster.
No.
Well, I do want to be a rock star. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun. And so I had it, and I broke my arm.
Oh,
so, lesson learned,
Blame the
rock
rock
star. Back to my Eclipse chunk that I've been working on all day.
You got a whole routine here? Is this your stand-up routine?
Yeah. No.
What about this eclipse?
Yeah, what's the deal with all these people saying you can't look at the sun?
I want to look
You
at
can
the
look
sun.
at the sun. People look at the sun all the time. Like, obviously, you don't stare at the sun like you normally would. But if you just look at the sun, everyone's like, "Oh, Donald Trump looked at the sun. He's gonna go blind." And it's like, no, he looked up at the sun and then he stopped.
The sun was
Sounds like you're a
brighter
Trump
today.
supporter.
I did look at the sun today.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it
it is.
sucked. Usually, you can kind of close your eyes, look at the sun, and you'll sneeze if you have to sneeze. Yeah, I wouldn't even dare do that.
No.
Yeah, but
The next
you
eclipse.
see a big old chunk out of it.
Now
I was fine.
our friend Austin is where watching the eclipse right now? Where is he again? Wyoming?
I think it's Wyoming.
Yeah.
Tetons, I
Yeah.
believe.
Okay.
That's where they were planning on going. He said, I talked to him sparingly today, and he said that it was super cloudy,
Yeah.
like right up until the eclipse, and then
Chance of meatballs?
Just cancel the show. Cancel the
You created this monster, Trey. Boom.
God, this is getting really, really trash, like a filthy Frank here with this. Films.
But yeah, I guess the clouds broke just in time.
Yeah,
So they got lucky.
that's good.
And then my friend Nathan just sent me
Lucky
this
Logan?
video, and it said,
Films.
WTF, I thought they were joking when they said not to use your phone to video the eclipse, which I was like, okay, I'm setting myself up for something. And it starts off, and it's a video of the sun, and then a ball sack comes floating in right over it.
Can we post that to the forums?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll post it on our Twitter page, on the Facebook. Let everybody know exactly what we're talking about. Now, I know it's not his balls because these balls are hairy and his are silky smooth.
Those are not nearly stretchy enough.
No.
To be Nate's.
Our friend Nathan has a ball sack that he can stretch.
I know Nathan. I didn't know you could stretch his ball sack.
What? That's like the first thing we usually tell people.
Jeez.
So like it's
I'm learning
already
all
it's
these
already
things today.
a low set pair. And
Okay.
Then, and then he goes and it can get to like almost knee level with his
Wow.
stretching.
You guys have a crazy group of friends. I like it though. You all have like superpowers or something. It's weird.
No, he just lotions a lot.
Like Kirk has the superpower of autism.
Yeah, speaking of Kirk, latest update in the Kirk saga, he was wearing flip flops and took a step and like broke his ankle or something. Or he said he needed crutches, but in the past he's needed slings for falling off his bike, and he wore it for like a week and then stopped, or he threw his neck out reaching for a towel.
He did see the doctor today. He posted a nice snap of him in the waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
Made sure to include his janky foot.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll get an update on Kirk. And
Well,
have that
thoughts
for you
and
next
prayers to Kirk. Everyone change your Facebook picture to a picture of Kirk.
week. Yeah, if we could
Thoughts
get a
and prayers.
GoFundMe, I'm sure
Yeah.
that.
Hey, it worked once, so maybe it'll work again.
Take off that Barcelona, watermark and put on just one of our bald friend.
Yeah, Kirk.
As far as other things that I've been watching,
Actual things you've been watching.
Yeah.
Besides the eclipse, do you have
I
any
did see the
any
eclipse.
thoughts about the eclipse? Any hot sports opinions about the eclipse?
I just remember, generations ago when the Mayas looked up and saw that there's total darkness in the middle of the day, and
Yeah.
they thought the gods were coming, and then they all went blind, and just millions of people went blind because that's what happens when you
Mhm.
look at the sun.
And
Everybody.
the
Praise
animals,
don't you
too.
Remember? Yeah. Just don't you remember when
I remember that.
generations
Yeah.
went blind?
I remember.
Unbelievable, all these people and their fake blindness agenda,
Praise the sun.
trying to scare people.
Mm.
Unbelievable.
New World Order.
Been watching Breaking Bad, been watching Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Non-spoiler Game of Thrones. How do you think this season's going? I'm really behind.
It
No
definitely
spoiler,
has like some of the highest there's the moments that you've been waiting for.
Sure.
But they also cut corners to get there. And sometimes not even in places where they need to cut corners. It's just kind of like, I feel like there'd be simple write-arounds for a lot of these things
Mhm.
that don't make sense, and they have characters acting funky just because they kind of need to get them into a certain place.
Yeah.
So,
Is it? It seems like, from what I've heard, I didn't stop. I just for some reason or another kind of fell off. I need to get back on it, but I fell off after Tyrion killed Tywin.
that's
And
season 4.
Yeah.
You said no
Wow.
spoilers.
Well, that was 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, at this point, you already know Jon Snow died and came back to life. I bet, because it's everywhere. So, I mean, that's a spoiler. That's probably already been spoiled. So, unless you were not there yet. And
No,
I
I
apologize.
was just yanking your chain.
All right.
You've been yanked.
You've been yanked.
Did yanked.
But my thing is, it seems like ever since they diverted from the books, it's gotten worse. From what I've heard, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I think that's certainly true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some of that is just there's easier things to make for TV than it is to kind of like see what works in the book and
Mhm.
then kind of adapt it to be like, oh, this is kind of how I feel. Like, I don't know, it's almost like a first draft where you go and you see it and you're like, oh, this is good and I like these bits, but we could do this to make it better because when I watched it, I had a feeling to it.
Mhm.
Or when I read it, I had a certain feeling to it. Now it's kind of like, okay, well, here's the first time anyone's responding to
Yeah.
this twist or whatever. So is it presented in a way that they want it to? And sometimes it hits and other times it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another defense I've been seeing for the writers and the showrunners is that they were hired to adapt books, not necessarily just fill in like storylines based on kind of key events that even George R. Martin seemingly can't do yet.
Right.
So they're just basically trying to fill in the gaps and kind of use skills that they weren't necessarily hired to use. Which still there's a lot of, like I said, some kind of lazy writing where they could easily work around it. But there are some things where I'm willing to kind of suspend my my judgment until the end of the season because I don't know how things are going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
And then I also saw Girls Trip.
Okay. How was that?
Tell me what you know about Girls Trip.
Is that the one with the African American cast and they go to New Orleans and
That's the one.
getting some havoc?
Yeah.
And they kill someone, right? Or is that the other one?
That's the what is that?
Be a much
I know
better
which one you're
movie.
talking about. It's like a long night.
Along
or
Came Polly. Or...
No, it's not Along Came Polly. No, that's the one with the girl from Broad City
Mm-hmm.
and Scarlett Johansson and
Scarjo.
Zoe Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah,
the
I
one
guess so.
I'm talking about is Girl Trip, where
Okay.
you keep drugs in your booty.
Ah,
And
that's
you,
that kind of
you
movie.
can't get an infection in your booty hole. And you know what? Sometimes it's good to watch a movie and be like, this wasn't made for me. I'm white. I'm in the demographic. And sometimes there just aren't movies made for me.
Right. Yeah.
I went because my girlfriend wanted to go. She loved it. Actually, if you guys want to talk about movies for a little bit, I'll give her a call.
All right.
And I'll just say something and we'll see how she responds.
So have you ever seen Girls Trip?
Nah, but I've seen the trailer, and that was I think like most of the laughs were in the trailer,
Mhm.
so I get it.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, I wouldn't say the laughs are just in the trailer. It's just that there's not a whole lot of like diversity in it.
Yeah, it's an entirely black cast.
Right.
Wow.
That's
all right.
what I meant.
Okay. Yeah, that's Spencer over there.
She's not gonna answer because she never answers the first. Hey.
Hey.
So I tried it with a pineapple and I almost died. Okay, I just needed to make you laugh. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah, she loved it. And like that's one line.
Wait. You tried it with a pineapple and you almost died.
Okay, so you've seen the video with the grapefruit lady?
Oh, you know what? Is this from the movie?
Yeah, it's from the
okay.
movie.
I guess I've not seen that part.
No, not the part of the movie.
Oh.
Have you seen the YouTube video with the lady talking about sucking dick with a grapefruit?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, it's a popular YouTube video.
Okay, I don't go on YouTube. I don't.
Adam,
That's-
pull that up
That's false.
I don't go on
just
YouTube.
to get this.
Okay.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Get it up.
So anyway, they basically take this exact YouTube video
Okay.
in the like they do the same bit, just as like, but it's basically like a way to please your man is to put a grapefruit around his penis while you suck on his dick, and then and then this isn't. Come on, video.
How much you want to bet the producers of that movie flagged that YouTube video for copyright infringement now?
Oh man, I
Oh,
bet
no.
you. Yeah, I bet you could.
Well,
Freaking YouTube police.
I don't have enough bandwidth for this. I don't believe. But
I'll believe you.
She goes, and it sounds like a devil.
We can post that
When
one to
she's
the
pretending-
forums
yeah.
too.
We'll post that one with the balls one. And so they basically do that bit, and she was like, but only do it with a grapefruit. I tried it with a pineapple, and I almost died. So I don't know. So like,
I guess it's-
not for me.
And
but
she's got the best laugh. It was like
she does.
uh.
That was a little bit cutting out on the phone,
Okay.
but yeah, generally it's like a entire flock of geese. But yeah, like I could have done it with that line. There's also like 20 other lines that
Mhm.
would have made her have the exact same reaction. For me, not necessarily. One of them calls her breast Biggie Smalls.
One's bigger than the other.
No, she just calls them Biggie Smalls.
Oh.
And then there's another one. The guy's penis is too big. They
Been
want,
there
They want
before.
to get
No
their
such
friend.
thing.
They want
No
to get their
such thing.
friend laid,
Yeah.
and they're all just out to have a great time.
Was he black?
Oh yeah. He had 2 grapefruits on his penis by the end of the movie.
Okay.
And then there's another part where she's talking about.
It
all
sounds
stuff
like the
that she's
movie
gonna do.
wasn't made for you.
It wasn't made for me, but she's just talked about all the bad stuff she was going to do to her friend's husband because he was being a bad boy,
Mhm.
and was talking about, hey, I'm gonna take 2 Q-tips, put it up his pee hole, and then I'm gonna stick my hand in his ass. I'm gonna
You know-
tickle him because I want him to laugh while he's feeling pain.
I'm really wondering how many people are listening because we talked about cutting off beans and now we talked about sticking Q-tips up pee holes.
This is a popular movie that I'm speaking of.
Okay. Well, that was a
critically,
popular
as
movie
a
too.
As a movie, yeah. Well, Antichrist wasn't popular.
No, it was not.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Are you really sticking something up your pee hole, or are you sticking
Yeah.
it down your pee hole?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hole in the ground, you stick
Well,
something down. You're going down the hole.
If it's erect, maybe you're sticking it up.
You got to be laying on your belly to stick it up
Yeah.
your pee hole.
Up.
I guess it'd be
I think
down.
it'd always be down.
Yeah,
Yeah, stick it up. I mean, up your butt kind of makes sense
because
because
you're
Because
standing.
it goes
up. Yeah, you're going vertically.
Or I guess in, instead of down, just in.
I suppose
Yeah.
we got the preposition police.
We can post this to the forums too.
Yeah, send us an email at CrayTreyVids, at Adam, at the Fullerton. Do you have a Twitter, Spencer?
I'm Coach Chucky.
Coach Chucky, and let us know, is it up or in or down?
Yeah,
your
just
pee hole.
Send me a message on Venmo, just attached with.
Put some money though. He needs money.
Yeah, just like $1, $2. I'm not gonna stop you. If you want to give me $5, I'll accept
Yeah.
$5. And
Like
just
we got Austin all that
let me know
money
what you
for Hang Zone, so we need to get Adam something,
yeah, for nothing.
for nothing.
So that's what I've watched.
We'll have
Trey.
Bob on this podcast so he can not mention my other podcast on the air. Just mention the Hang Zone. Sorry, it's a little.
Were you
Thanks.
upset about that?
No, I wasn't upset. I just thought it was funny.
Why? What did
No, so Dan, he mentions that he spoke to
Austin?
Austin,
yeah, so
but he
you should
never
be mad
said
at
the
Dan, not Bob.
podcast. I meant Bob. I was just saying though, like we could do Bob instead.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
No, like I just thought it was. You know,
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like okay, well, tell him where you talked to him. You
Yeah.
know, maybe. All right, whatever.
Give us a little plug.
Little plug. I guess not.
I
I
don't know.
Just
Super Gamecast 64.
this Detective Austin, he's a P1, yeah.
Creator at Regac.com.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
fun. That's fun for everyone.
It
who's
is fun. Most people are P1s listening to
Took
this,
me
so it's all
took
fun.
me a good while to realize you're doing an
Oh.
impersonation.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I was like, I don't know this bit yet. I've been listening a while.
Okay.
I don't know this bit.
sorry about that. So you listen a lot
Oh yeah, I
to
listen.
Gamescast, Filmscast, all of it, or just the
I
films?
think I rank FilmsCast number 1,
Okay,
Gamescast number 2.
Okay.
Everything else is beneath.
that's awesome. I like that.
I think that's typically this consensus among 4 out of 5 dentists.
Sure. I'll go with whatever you're saying. I'll go with
Whoever's
whatever
in the
podcast I'm
room
on
with
at the
you at
time.
the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. I'm a pleaser. So I saw a few films before we talk
Ooh.
about Logan Lucky. I saw Wet Hot American Summer by your request,
Yeah, man.
and it was pretty good. We had kind of talked about it already, but I enjoyed
Not
it.
on the air.
Not on the
No one
air.
knew.
Not for air, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty funny. It reminded me of a National Lampoon kind of movie. It was just a whole
Yeah.
bunch of kind of bits, and
It's
I didn't
essentially
realize-
a sketch.
yeah, it's kind of
Movie.
just sketches. And I always kind of dug like camp comedies or like the young like Heavyweights or Camp Nowhere, or The Sandlot, and just a lot of these little tropes
Yeah.
about these kind of summer, movies, and
Coming
then
of age.
coming of age
sort
movies,
of thing,
and
where they're all
just horny
very
teens.
old.
Yeah. Like I really dug 21 Jump Street. They kind of played with the whole high school trope. And this
Right.
was sort of in that same kind of vein, but
Yeah.
and it felt like an 80s movie too. Like it really felt like an 80s movie, which
Right,
was pretty
intentionally.
cool. Yeah. Which I really enjoyed. Like even the sort of the structure.
Mhm.
And it's just I could see why it's a cult classic because it's just very weird.
Yeah,
and
it's very absurd, and they'll go and they'll just kind of like heighten things
Mhm.
in one direction. They'll start a bit, and they'll just heighten, and then
Like
it's
the
kinda
going
just
into
back-
town and
going
yeah.
into town, or Gene the cook.
yeah, doing the whole speech. Now I've heard that speech before. I think
It's-
that's a Shake Joint promo or open too. I never
I-
knew what it was from,
I
but
wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna fondle sweaters. rub mud on my ass and hump the fridge.
And just I like how kind of characters can be used for different things. Like, maybe the character is kind of one way in one scene, but then they're a whole different character in another scene. And they're kind of just using characters whenever they want to use them.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what Bradley Cooper was.
Yep.
Yeah, like that was a very long scene.
That was his. You're talking about the makeout scene.
Yeah.
The
Not
sex
even the
scene.
makeout. It's a
but
total.
you don't see the penetration. It's no Antichrist.
Well, no, not what is.
Yeah. Well, of course. He was actually to shoot that scene. He skipped his college graduation.
Jeez. Yeah.
Didn't he go? He went to the school where they do the inside the actor's studio, didn't they?
He was on Inside the Actors.
I know.
He was an audience member, right?
Right.
He
Yeah.
asked a question to
What was that school? What school did they shoot that at?
I don't know. I think they rotate it.
Do they?
I believe. I mean, it could be. I'm
I
sure
might be mistaken.
it may be a LA school just because it's easy to get actors
They didn't go to UNT.
like Donald Trump
Unfortunately.
Jr.
Let's not get that started. And no,
He's gonna be at AT&T Stadium.
yeah, he's gonna be at AT&T Stadium, and he's a Fiji. That doesn't mean Fiji talked to him. That was a Pike who got him, not us. So let's get that record
Sounds
straight too.
defensive.
Wait,
get that record straight.
Donald Trump Jr. went to UNT?
No. He's just so
He's speaking.
I got a whole
Okay.
bunch of people messaging
He's
me.
part of a UNT
Yeah.
speaker series.
Did you go to UNT?
Ooh. No, I went to St. Edward's
Okay.
down in Austin.
Down in Austin. You've talked to me about that before. Okay, St. Edward's. I guess some alumni was friends with DJ T or whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
And DTJ. And
Donald Jr. Trump.
yeah, I
Donald
guess
Jump Jr.
Donald Trump Jr. And I guess they got him.
Bradley Cooper
thing.
went to Actors Studio Drama School.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Where's
For
that
his
located?
masters.
L.A.
It's located at Pace University.
that's right.
Okay.
And Pace University, let's just keep going down.
New
is
York.
is in New York.
New York.
Has a campus in Manhattan, New
Oh.
York City.
I
And
go to
two
Young
campuses-
Actor Studio.
I know how many clicks until you can get to Hitler.
Oh boy, probably pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, once you get to New York, it's
Yeah.
pretty
Oh.
easy.
Hey. New York Tribune. Oh, the New York Slimes. One World Trade Center. Okay, that's pretty close.
All right,
pretty
Now we're
close.
getting to the heat.
We're getting to the Hitler. It all leads to Hitler.
Mm-hmm. I have some news, Trey. If you
Sure.
don't mind.
I want some Hitler news.
Unless you were going to talk about
Yeah.
some movies that you saw. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah. So I saw that. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I'm just surprised in how Bradley Cooper and Paul Rudd and those guys, like they were. I didn't realize like they were such small parts. Paul Rudd probably had the biggest part in the movie, and he kills 4 kids pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
They just drown.
And like we're
Just making
talking
out with Elizabeth.
yeah,
Banks.
and we're talking about last year, sort of why I liked Animal House. It's that same kind of thing where it's like they should all be in prison, but fuck it, who cares? They're just gonna do whatever they want, and there's no repercussions. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, and I rewatched The Matrix last night. Actually,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The first one.
the first one. And it's weird. It's such it's a lot smaller of a movie than you think it is. There's the plot is, I mean, you think of it as a grand plot because the other two kind of made it more like I guess it is kind of into the world, but it's a little more about kind of Morpheus and Neo and his relationship with Morpheus and Trinity in the first one. Then the other ones are kind of out there.
Right.
And just like there weren't a lot of, you think of like that big battle or the big fight scene at the end, and you think it's an airport, but it's like a bank, and there's just like a few cops and what?
Oh, I'm on the Columbine page.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay,
working,
you're close.
I'm getting close.
420. It's
it's
Hitler's birthday.
Yes.
So we got.
You don't
That's
even
true.
need to see the
Yeah.
links. You just
I knew it.
I'm there.
Wikipedia
You
in
guys,
your
I'm
head.
one away.
You got it. We got Hitler.
Yep.
And speaking of
got
Columbine, The Matrix.
You guys, we got him.
We got him. We got Hitler. Yeah, so the Matrix is pretty cool. I don't like the green tint throughout the whole movie.
Really, I kind of dig it.
Yeah?
I think it's like purposefully
Yeah.
unsettling.
I think it kind of dates itself, though, a little bit. I just
I
think
can
it
see
kind
that.
of looks a little too 90s, early 2000s, but whatever.
I think they did it on purpose, purposefully though, to make the real world seem
Sure.
like
Yeah, that makes
Blue-
sense.
not the real world, but the
Though the Matrix kind of seem, yeah, because it does not seem like the real world. So
Right.
yeah, I could see that definitely.
But I get where you're coming from.
It's
With
just sort
that-
of like, oh, this is the Matrix. This is the new CGI movie.
Yeah.
We're
Did
really
watching it first of all, how did the CGI hold up?
Certain things were still pretty cool, but a lot of like liquidy, when he's kind of
Yeah.
touching the mirror, a lot of that kind of stuff is outdated.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it still was pretty good. Like even the machines looked all right. They didn't look too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in there, it didn't look too bad.
Did it bum you out? Did it remind you of the next two movies and you just like
A little
get
bit.
bummed out?
I'm not. I don't remember those that. I remember the third one more than the second one. I just know. What I remember from the second one is a humongous fight scene with all the Smiths.
Uh-huh.
And the third one, I remember a lot of it, but I don't remember much of the second one. So I guess
Is
it
the
did bum me
rave
out.
in the second one or the third one?
The raid?
The rave? I think that's
That
in
might be the
second one.
first one.
That's not in the first one.
I mean, the
'cause
second one.
he's-
I'm sorry, second one. Yeah,
That's when they go
we're in that big.
to the underground.
yeah, that's got to be the second one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shame those because the first one, like I always assumed just because I hadn't seen him in a long time that the first one was its own kind of thing, and then they're kind of just tacked on these two other ones. But the first one really set up for two more.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
there's supposed to be two more. Definitely,
Yeah.
they just kind of blew it. Then,
It did one of my favorite things in movies that I wanted to do if I make one, where the movie ends and he just flies off.
yeah, you told me that actually. I remember that, yeah,
like
just fly off.
yeah, just wake up. Rage Against the Machine.
It reminds me so much of that summer where that movie was just so big. And I remember I was at summer camp and we had to do like a short film, like short skit.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a whole Matrix parody called The Barcode.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't remember too much of it, but it was just, it was like everyone trying to do bullet time. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was just
remember everybody was doing the bullet time stuff.
Yeah, that Limbo was never more popular than when the Matrix came out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Everyone wants to be Neo
Yeah.
or those cool trench coats to school and shoot up bullies. And Hitler.
Eric and Dylan.
Yeah, Eric and Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Reiner knows the names very well. He knows their full names.
Dylan Klebold and Eric
Yeah,
Harris.
there you go.
I've read multiple books. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it takeaway?
No, hey, we've
All right.
already talked about cutting
So I was
beans,
at-
so let's go.
I was at brunch one time, and the waitress was talking. I guess two people at our table were talking, and they were talking about My Favorite Murder, the podcast, which is
Sure.
It's kind of like comedians talking about serial killers.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Oh, the waitress was like, "Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. I love everything about serial killers and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, I'm the same way, but with Columbine." And she looked at me like I was weird. It's the same thing, lady.
I mean, it's a little different.
It's
a little
not. It's
different.
not that different.
It's a little different.
It's not different.
It's a little different.
How is it different?
Well, it's school, and you're in school, and you're
I wasn't in
getting ideas,
school.
and you're playing your video games, listening to your Marilyn Manson, and watching Matrix.
Oh, well, I was wearing a trench coat at the time. I forgot.
You don't
I
just-
forgot to add.
You don't just up and say, "Oh, I love 9/11."
Well, no, but it was prompted. I didn't. It wasn't without anything else.
Right, but even in that context,
She was like,
"You don't love 9/11."
She was just like, I'm obsessed with serial killers, and I was like, I read a lot. I said I'm into Columbine.
Okay.
I visited their houses. Don't worry.
Well, when you explain it, yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I've had one of those where I mentioned to a teacher, like, I liked the term to kill two birds with one stone. She's like, "You're really into killing things. What's up with you?" I'm like, "Oh,
No, that's on your
I feel
teacher. Your
like
teacher's
that.
weird.
Yeah.
That was like something that you had brought up a few times at that point.
I like this a lot.
Don't
also,
throw out
why
the
do
baby
you-
with the bathwater?
What is it that you like about slaying?
I just think it's a good analogy. It makes sense. It's not like two in a bush, two in the hand.
That is true.
bullshit.
It is
It
more-
makes sense.
It is a more.
To kill
clear.
two birds with one stone makes fucking sense.
But why are you killing these birds?
You don't have to kill them. You're just throwing a stone, hitting two birds. You got them.
So just disfigure two birds with
Disfigure.
one stone.
Yeah, let's go with disfigure.
Did you watch
Mortally
any-
wound.
Did you watch any other movies?
Lucky Logan. That's the other.
Okay.
That's the other one
Logan
I saw.
Lucky.
Logan Lucky. Yeah, I
Which
get that
is-
flipped around.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
so
not
do you want to
okay.
do news real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's do some news.
Okay, Wonder Woman passes Spider-Man at the box office as the highest grossing, first
You see what
superhero
happens.
movie.
See what happens when you put women in movies.
And
They just take over.
are we talking Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man: Homecoming?
This
That's
is
true.
the first Spider-Man
Okay.
Toby Mac.
Antonio Maguire.
That is a
Antonio Maguire.
Antonio Banderas.
yeah.
No, that's a legit. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I thought you were talking about Homecoming. I didn't know you were.
No.
So that is significant.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the biggest opening for a superhero movie origin story.
Okay. Wow.
Wow, that'd be that. I guess Spider-Man would have been the biggest.
Yeah.
But you also have like Iron Man was so huge and pivotal for
Right.
where movies are now.
Yeah,
Or
but I
Marvel
think without the
superhero
success of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
then so
You probably wouldn't have.
next thing you know, in the 15 years from now, will people finally start saying why are they making so many movies about women these days?
Sick of these female
These
movies.
females.
God, all of them are exactly
Pretty-
the same.
Pretty soon we're gonna have how we were gonna have the new Ocean's movie, all ladies.
Uh-huh.
Pretty soon there's going to be the reverse where movies are all ladies, and we've got to start making the
Oh,
man version.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
groomsmen.
The groomsmen.
It's just a Hangover ripoff, but people think it's a Bridesmaids ripoff. It's like, what is this? What is this? What is the meaning of this?
Yes. Then we can finally have some, all male show.
Yeah, I know.
Finally.
Finally. It's been too long. Where's the male superhero? I want to know. White male superhero.
It's been so long since
Mhm.
I've seen one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
They're all-
Spider-Man.
No. There you go.
And Batman.
Spider-Man.
Let's see. Daniel Craig says he officially announced that he's going to be back for the 25th
Mm.
James Bond movie.
Mhm.
Yes.
Daniel Craig as Bond.
Thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up for Spencer.
I love
I'll give
Daniel
you a thumbs
Craig.
up.
Thumbs up.
'cause
I liked it too. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of, was it 2 for 4 now? Has he done 4?
He did.
He did 4, yeah.
Casino Royale,
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace.
Skyfall,
Yeah.
and
Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectre Gadget.
Yeah.
I think Spectre was the first one I didn't really enjoy.
I didn't like
I didn't like
Skyfall
Quantum.
was not
Quantum of
great.
Solace.
Wait, which,
I
I'm
liked
cr-
Skyfall.
Skyfall was
I'm getting my order mixed up. I thought the first two were pretty good.
It goes Casino Royale was really good.
Yes.
Quantum of Solace wasn't that great. A lot of CGI. Skyfall is considered like one of the best of all time, or at least the
Okay.
best shot, best looking
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Spectre, which people had kind of mixed.
right.
things
I had.
about.
Yeah.
I thought Spectre was the first one I really didn't enjoy, but yeah, Skyfall and Casino were
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the best to me.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Who do you think should play Bond next? I know we had this conversation.
Yeah, I'm
before,
cool
but-
with Idris Elba doing it.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be in good movies, and I
Mhm.
think Bond movies, at least to a certain extent, have a decent amount of quality to them.
There's such a kind of staple of pop culture that I think they used to be kind of rompy and just
Mhm.
kind of dumb, but I think they're taken a lot more seriously now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Tom Hiddleston could do pretty well
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
in it. I wouldn't be opposed to a Tom Hiddleston Bond.
I think Tom Hardy would be interesting. It would be a different.
I'd be
Bond.
interested in that.
He's such a brute,
That's-
Yeah.
whereas
Kind of
Bond is a lot more sleek.
yeah, like
Yeah.
animalistic Bond, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just do Bronson, but he's wearing a
But he,
tuxedo.
Yeah.
he definitely
and
has
he's
the
got
looks
gadgets.
and kind of the. I mean, obviously he has the appeal with the
Mhm.
ladies. He
Yeah.
got that on lock.
All right. Star Wars news.
Mm-hmm.
The-
We're getting there, man. We're getting close.
Well, yeah. So there's the new movie that's coming out.
Are you a Star Wars fan, Spencer?
I'm not one of those super fans. I've enjoyed the new movies. I don't see them as like masterpieces, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as like popcorn movies are concerned, I've enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other movies that are coming out from the Star Wars universe, they're going to make an Obi-Wan standalone movie.
Yep. Get Ewan McGregor on that shit.
which I think is good.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean,
in my grand scheme of things, I think it's dumb to have an entire world take place across, planets and
I think it's
universes, and to limit themselves to
Yeah.
characters that were made in one movie.
right. And that you were kind of there just to sell toys in a way.
Well, yeah, but they've always been to sell toys. Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be better for them to sell toys if they came out with something
New
like,
characters. No,
completely
yeah,
new?
I'm 100% with you. New characters. Like I'm just saying they're not
Remember
necessarily
how everyone
like
went BB-8 crazy.
they're not
Remember how
necessarily.
BB-8 crazy everyone was?
Yeah, everyone loved that
That-
BB-8. Got that BB-8 roller.
That was definitely the weakest part I thought of Rogue One, though, was the characters, because there was nothing. I
definitely.
did not. I mean, obviously, spoiler, they all die,
Yeah,
and so they don't do a lot to really make you care about them. But
Right.
But that kind of makes that climax at the end where they all die is weak, because where
Mhm.
Right.
I don't care about these characters.
Right.
Okay, they're dead.
Yes.
So whereas, but they're making these standalone character movies.
Right.
They're gonna make it about the characters that we care about.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think it's all gonna turn because we had I guess episode 7, and you had Han Solo, and now that torch is gonna be now to Rey and Finn and all those characters. So maybe eventually we start seeing more new ones, but I'm sure a lot of these first few are gonna be fan servicey.
Yep.
Han Solo, which even the Han Solo, I don't know, just because I don't want to know Han Solo's backstory. Like I'd rather have Lando Calrissian's backstory than Han Solo.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know too much about Lando Calrissian, and it's
you
like,
kind of don't know a whole lot about Han Solo.
Well,
prior
but that's
to the fact other than he's a smuggler and he made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
But that's kind of makes the character cool because you don't know his backstory. I don't want to know that he has a mentor and he trained and did all this other weird stuff. I want to know he's a good person. I don't want to. It's going to be so shoehorned in. Look at all the good deeds Han Solo did, and he had a wife and kid. Oh my God! And
well, that's one of the things about like prequels and things like that is that it builds up humanity to an extent to where like if they're take Han Solo for example, where they're a ruffian scoundrel. You can't necessarily have a prequel movie where like he goes through his character arc and starts and ends as a scoundrel, because then it's not quite as fun. And generally stories are about the growth of a character, and they have like redeeming qualities, and so then there's a disconnect between them at the end of a prequel and at the beginning of the original source material. And that's kind of, I watched Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, and as I've gone back and watched Breaking Bad, right after I finished this latest season of Better Call Saul, it's like there's just so much like depravity that he's going to have to get into very quickly, essentially, which is interesting.
As long as I can watch Harrison Ford and CGI Carrie Fisher conceive Kylo Ren, I'm cool with the Han Solo
All right.
origin story.
Good.
God,
give him that Paul Walker. Give him that old Paul Walker, but whole body.
It's going to be Han Solo in one car and Princess Leia in the other car, and they just kind of give each other the knowing nod and just drive away. That's how it should be.
And
Jabba the Hutt too, right?
That's what they're working on a Jabba the Hutt.
Now, is this like the
movie.
Lord Voldemort movie? That's sort of like they're not talking about it, but it's happening.
It's being considered.
Yeah, that's weird.
As long as J.K. doesn't write the screenplay for that.
That was such a weird announcement. Like I saw there's a trailer for it. I didn't hear this was gonna happen. It looks really cheesy and bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
They're fucking with my childhood. But
how about watching a movie with Jabba the Hutt as the main character?
Fuck, I don't give a shit about
The guy doesn't need
gross slug man who doesn't speak English.
What if it's about his eating disorder? What if it's about his eating disorder and it's a really sad story about a boy who was fat?
Yeah,
and he got self-esteem.
And he eventually made it and took female slaves.
Yep, it's the American story. Hey,
that story
it's
arc.
the American story.
And then he grows hair.
Look, I was Jabba the Hutt a long time ago. Okay. I took many slaves with me. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going.
No, we're done.
Cool.
Anyway, any more stories?
Hey, Movie Pass, unlimited movies, $10.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kind of freaked out about that.
They crashed the site and everything when it was announced.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big deal.
They've done stuff like that before, right? Where it's, or is this just online or like movie theater pass? Like
What are you talking about?
This isn't an online thing where you can watch it online. This is because they've done this before. Like
this exists currently, but right now it costs $50.
Oh, it's costing that's
so now they're dropping it down to
$10
for basically unlimited. There are certain limitations that you have.
Like once a day, right?
Yeah, you can do once a day and you can only see a movie one time.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't go back and see the same movie.
I can't go see Blade Runner 20 times.
But more specifically, you can't go see Blade Runner and then say, "Hey, take this and go see Blade Runner."
Okay.
But in my experience with the because I got the $50 one, and it's pretty great. I mean, it's $50 doesn't really save me any money, so yeah, I'll save like $8 because if I see one a week, generally is what I do. But at $10. Like that's nuts. That's such a good deal.
And the way they're doing this, I guess I'm not sure if you're going to touch on it, is that they're selling your data. Basically, they're viewing your movie habits, your movie viewing habits, what you're interested in, and selling that to studios
which is something
that's good.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know. It's better than some things.
If it helps make more movies like Logan Lucky, I'm happy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Facebook today. I'm not to take away from your amazing transition, but
he's just trying
on
so
Facebook
hard.
Today, I got an email. I got an email, not on my email that I have my Facebook on. I got an email from someone at work, from my work email, saying, "Hey, got Tiff's treats sent to the office. If you guys want to come by and pick some up." And I open up Facebook. And there's ads for Tiff's treats.
Hold on.
I never said Tiff's treats out loud, which is I know they're able to like listen, like they have your mic on semi-permanently, so they can listen to things. But like they didn't have access to the email account that I was in. I don't know how they did it. I don't know.
I'll shoot the Zucks a message and see if he can shed some light on this.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who has a sticker over his camera on his laptop. He's taking my info. But I'm cool with it.
I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with this slippery slope.
Oh, I tell you,
I've seen the circle. I know how this ends.
The Hardline had a whole segment about a company putting chips in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally put a chip in." I'm like, "Fuck that!" Putting a chip in so you could.
Well, is it in or is it down?
It's like, well, that's the question, isn't it? I think it's in because it's in like your little skin right here, and it's has your information. You can just swipe it.
Yeah,
it's just so easy. It has all your information, and you're fucked. Then you're in the Matrix. That's what it's all coming to.
That's all you do. Let's talk Logan Lucky.
Okay, but no. Again, on this deal though, I counted. I've seen 10 movies in theaters this year, which is way more than I saw the last few years. So that might be a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you use it once and it basically pays for itself.
Yeah.
And I think if you have that deal, you have more incentive to say there's nothing to keep you from going to
right
at this point because you already
paid for it. And if anything, it encourages you to go. And AMC's mad about it because they're like, oh, it's not a good deal for I don't know, consumers.
Big movie theater,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But
big
Movie Pass is buying. Technically, you're buying it from Movie Pass, who buys it from AMC.
Mm-hmm.
So AMC's not losing out on anything. So I don't know. Also, Movie Pass, they make it like really hard for you to figure out what theaters it works at.
Yeah.
But there's only the Magnolia and the Inwood. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Around
I'm sure
me.
it works Cinemark.
So it works. Yeah, it works. I've gone to all kinds of other theaters.
Yeah.
And it works.
All right. Well, let's go on to Logan Lucky then.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you want to head this on?
You want me to take the point?
I want you to take this. Yeah, take this.
Okay. Thesis statement.
Yeah.
Why isn't every movie like this?
Just kind of fun fun heist movie.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's original.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's.
It wasn't trying too hard to be over funny. It wasn't trying too
Right.
hard to be over moral.
Yep.
It wasn't trying
It wasn't
too hard to be
like a complex caper.
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't feel like, and I know it's Soderbergh, but it didn't
Right.
feel like an Ocean's 11 where it's trying to be really like in depth and this is how we're going to get in there. It just,
We're going to explain every
Yeah.
single thing that went
Yeah.
down. I think it's not that complex of a script.
No.
It is a different, quote unquote, take on a movie trope.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's no reason that original content like that shouldn't be able to be churned out all the time.
Well, it's Soderbergh, so it's a well-known director,
Right.
so he can do whatever he wants.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but I think we're seeing a little bit more of it. I think people like with The Nice Guys last year.
That's
and
the movie that
Yeah.
came to mind
Right.
for me
Yeah.
when I was watching it and that was like the same where
Mhm.
it's like this isn't necessarily like groundbreaking
No.
or anything.
it's enjoyable.
Yeah. And
It's
I feel like movies like that, I mean, I would be surprised if it doesn't churn out a decent profit
Mm-hmm.
where it's not a tentpole movie where it's making billions, but you can just consistently make those movies that are pretty good and you'll get more people going to the theaters
Yeah.
and then you'll see more people take risks on some other movies if that's part of what they're doing. So,
Hopefully.
Right. Well, the Hitman's Bodyguard beat it this week, and
Ooh.
it
Yes.
got like third in the box office, which is crazy to me because it's one of those movies that's a critical darling,
Mm-hmm.
yet for some reason it doesn't translate into tickets.
Was Arrival like that, or was Arrival a big box office success, or was
I
it?
think it was more of a slow burn, and I think
Mhm.
you could see that a little bit with this, not necessarily where it, like explodes, but it'll
word of mouth, because I remember looking at it at first. I'm like, this doesn't look great, and mainly I don't think I watched the trailers closely, and also like it's August, so you're not taking. Usually August movies aren't the best movies, but then I started hearing a lot of things about it. I'm like, oh, maybe I should see this. And then
Mhm.
Yeah,
But,
that was kind of the way that I looked at it.
Mhm.
Was this looks interesting enough? I'll see what kind of reviews
Mm-hmm.
come out for it, and then if it's decent, then I'll go see it because I like Channing Tatum. I like
Yeah.
Adam Driver.
I like Channing
like
Tatum
Daniel
more
Craig.
and more. Like every movie he's in,
Yeah.
he's great.
He's really good.
Yeah,
Especially those name alliteration movies.
yeah.
Logan Lucky, Magic Mike,
And 22 Jump Street, that's not alliteration.
Ah.
21 Jump Street,
22 though. is-
22. Yeah, it's alliteration there.
Yeah, there we go.
Magic Mike. Yeah, I thought he was great. I thought Adam Driver. Here at first, I was annoyed by the accent, but then I think he was just doing that for comedic effect because it reminded me of Where Art Thou, or Brother, Where Art Thou? Like where it's so hammed up
Mhm.
that I assume he was trying to be hammed up.
I think maybe to an extent, but I
I
think
don't know.
I don't think he could do a Southern accent.
No.
I think that's more of what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and so any I'll just do it big.
Yeah.
Right,
And it doesn't take you out of the movie though.
No,
That's
no.
the thing. There's so many times where, things are over the top or
Mhm.
things are a little bit ridiculous, but
Mhm.
you're still pretty just like encapsulated with this
Yeah.
movie, or just I was never taken out of the movie with anything.
No.
Even seeing James Bond
Yeah.
do a terrible Southern accent that
Right.
progressively got better.
Yes.
It's still moving so fast, you don't
Mhm.
have any time really to get hold
Right.
up on anything.
I thought Daniel Craig was great as well. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So this weekend it was Hitman's Bodyguard made 21 million, Annabelle 2
God.
made 15 million, but I don't know what it is. Horror movies generally
Yeah.
make decent money.
At first,
It's I don't understand.
I think it because
why.
because it's a good date movie, maybe.
Yeah.
Horror movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Want to get that girl all scared, so she wants to go back to somewhere comfortable.
Is that
Go
that
on.
the theory behind it?
No, don't worry about that. We'll scrap
It's
that.
not.
Keep going.
It's not that you want her to be scared and like on you during the movie.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
It's that she wants to take this stranger and take her back to her house after she just got scared.
Well, I mean,
I guess
hey,
yeah,
it
you
might be
need
safer in my
protection.
house. Might be safer there.
My parents are home.
They are
They'll
home.
protect us.
They're downstairs. We got hot pockets in the freezer. I got
Don't you
video games in my room.
Don't you want the comfort of mom and dad? Yeah, $7 million it made.
It's crazy to me to think about. If I polled like my office or something and said, hey, which of these movies would you rather see?
Mm-hmm.
I would be shocked to find them say, oh, Hitman's Bodyguard and then Annabelle.
2. The original Annabelle, which I did not even know existed.
I didn't know it existed either.
Actually,
sweet,
that's
the
not true.
sequel's out.
That's not true. I knew that because my friend's sister has a dog named Annabelle.
What? What's your friend's dog's name?
Annabelle.
Annabelle?
Yeah. No, it's Annabelle, but we
Alright.
call it Annabelle.
Is that? Never mind. All right, that's great.
So anyway, Logan Lucky. Yeah, they do it, and it's the same sort of deal, which is kind of what I talk about with movies, is that they establish a tone early on, and they say, okay, this is what it is, live with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're either on or you're not. And, like, I don't know, I'm in for this heist movie. Why does he need to steal money? I mean, I guess he just lost his job. They like don't mess around with
custody
a
a
lot of
little
stuff.
bit. The custody of the kid
Because he wanted to live close to her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which, that's another movie where I enjoy that they didn't really.
They didn't have a whole scene
Yeah.
where he's like, oh no, my kid's moving away.
Yeah, and it's sort of
I
like,
need to do this. It's just like,
okay, well, I guess
as
I'm
soon
gonna
as he gets home, there's
Yeah.
a list on the fridge that says, all right, here are the rules
Mm-hmm.
for robbing a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a part of the movie that I really liked a lot was for how it was a pretty big scope. I mean, there's one kind of central theme, but it's a pretty big scope. Tons of characters.
Yeah.
And everything is introduced in a way that's memorable, and that when it's brought back up, it doesn't feel forced. It's really natural and kind of, oh yeah, this all makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like the way that all the characters are kind of integrated.
Yeah.
All flows really smoothly.
Mm-hmm. And I thought Seth MacFarlane's character, when you're mentioning that, like, yeah, that was very kind of memorable. It wasn't a hard callback.
Right.
It's like, okay, I remember this character, and
Yeah.
Right. Where at first you might think, okay, what's the deal with this whole fight scene? And then when it's brought back up, okay, this makes sense. But
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like clear. Whereas like when you're watching something like Curb Your Enthusiasm, like Larry will mess something up, and it's obvious. Okay, this is like the focal
what it's going
point.
to be. Right.
This is what's happening. But nothing has that kind of feel where it's like over the top. Okay, so this guy's going to come in and be the villain in the end. Or
Right.
I think Roy from The Office is destined to play the asshole ex-boyfriend character for the rest of his life.
He was very sweet.
Yeah, but he was, there was a lot of tension there.
I love Stick.
Also, what was I thinking?
He wanted to take the kids out.
He just wanted to go see Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
That is a precocious young girl they got to play that role.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then they had two the same John Denver song, that Country Road song, in two summer movies this year. One was Logan Lucky, and the other was, I guess. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Alien Covenant.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
There was, what kind of triggered them to go to the planet was they heard Frequency John Denver in the background. And
That's right.
Danny McBride's like, oh, fuck yeah, I know John Denver, let's go. And they went over there, and the planet got killed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Poor Danny McBride.
And then, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Danny McBride didn't die. He kind of survived. Am I spoiling Alien Covenant for you guys?
Didn't he?
It
Not
wasn't
yet.
clear what he was going to do to those two.
Right.
Whoa.
He could have let them live. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Probably not. They're probably dead.
Was he alien the whole time?
No.
The titular alien?
That would have been great, though.
Okay.
He just splits like, I'm fucking Kenny Powers.
I saw a guy in a Kenny Powers t-shirt.
Oh, it's a great
The other day.
show.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
And let's see. So back to Logan Lucky.
No,
Seth
I
Mac-
enjoyed that it kind of, and it seems like a lot of those, especially in the 90s, a lot of those movies always kind of had to have a moral I was thinking also, like, when did it start becoming, when did they make the switch and having a divorced family stay divorced? Because it seemed like back in the day, there would be the divorced
used to
couple
come
and they
back
got
together.
back. And now it's just like, they're just divorced. And
They're
that's
divorced,
just what it
that's
is, you know?
Probably the Parent Trap remake when they stopped doing that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That seems like a thing that you don't see anymore. It's probably good because it's not realistic, but it's interesting. And I like
guess
Silver
I hadn't
Linings
really thought of
Playbook because I'm sorry to worry.
No, you're good.
Oh. I really like Silver Linings Playbook because you kind of felt like there was going to be this big emotional scene at the end where the family like just reveals all their baggage and everyone just has a big fight.
Mhm.
And it didn't really happen. It was just like, okay, this is just they're living their lives. There's not this heavy emotion, like heavy morality story, hitting at you. And they kind of did that with this movie. There wasn't, the very, very end. That's sort of a plot twist, but there's not like a whole, this is wrong. What they did was wrong, and they're all going to prison. And then there's a moral to this. It was like, okay, this just happened. This is just a funny bunch of small time thieves, and it's just funny. It's just here's a funny story.
Yeah.
I really liked the whole tone of the movie. Whereas now, you especially see this with all of the new like superhero movies where they aren't really sure what the tone of the movie want. Is it serious? Is it campy? Is it fun? Whereas this was just, I think Adam, you touched on
they'll
it.
kind of try to mix a lot of it in. Like, I don't know, like when they went to Suicide Squad and they went and reshot it to try to add more humor to it and be like, if you're making a dark movie, have it be a dark movie.
Right.
Like,
otherwise, you just get so confused and you don't know how to feel, and it just makes you feel shitty. So that's not fun. But this movie is just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have fun with this.
Mhm.
Like, don't get caught up on anything. Just go along with the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And like Adam said, I was down with it the whole way. Where I was just basically hanging on and just I don't know. It was a very, very enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's no reason why more movies shouldn't be fun. I don't know when it really happened, but
we were talking about that last week or was it 2 weeks ago? We were talking about
Brigsby Bear last week.
Yeah,
I think.
and like 90s action movies, how they were just fun. They weren't trying to be all serious. It was like Con Air and Face Off and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're talking about Face Off. Yeah. And it's like, well, why doesn't this work? Because it's a movie. And if you spend time explaining it, then you're kind of getting away from it. One of my favorite things in that sort of vein is Looper, where Looper, they go and, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis have that scene where they sit down at the diner and they're talking about time travel or whatever, and Bruce Willis says, I mean, we could be talking about this all day and breaking it down. It doesn't matter. It's what it is. And a lot of people saw that as kind of a cop-out, but they laid out very specific rules. They just didn't waste time because if you start trying to make like kind of things that just need to be
paradox.
Conceits, if you try to start explaining that stuff, then you're gonna have to explain everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you just need to say, okay, this is fun. They have firefighters' outfits. I don't need a scene where they go and trick some firefighters and leave them, naked somewhere. Like, they just have them. It's fine. Like, it's cool. It's a funny, kind of cool way to
and they just got that employee on their side somehow. Like, oh, it's funny. Who cares? You're just smoking. And they somehow bribe that guy. Yeah, it's whatever.
You don't need to have
and the whole prison riot, it's like, oh, they just happened to all be all in on this.
They just wanted to have fun. They were like, oh yeah, we'll
do this.
Tape up the guards and demand Game of Thrones books that don't exist yet.
No.
Well, there is bits where Daniel Craig is like kind of getting all those other guys in with him. It's like, I've got a proposition for you.
Right.
But still, like, to assume that they would, and like, just like, okay, they know exactly how long all of this is going to take. So at this lap, you do this.
Yeah.
Like, in reality, there's no way this would happen.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
Timed
Right. Because it's a fun movie, and it just keeps the story going.
There's also things in this movie, and they do it in other movies, but it's just simple things that let you know exactly what kind of person it is. Where, okay, Daniel Craig's the kind of person who wants boiled eggs out of
a vending machine.
Like, he can get whatever he wants. This is a guy who wants boiled eggs.
Prepackaged boiled eggs.
Right, exactly.
It's like Cumulus Cafe boiled eggs.
Right. and like, that tells you so much about the character that you don't have to deal with a bunch of other stuff. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, this dude is weird, and it's just a way that
He doesn't like
just
saying his
little-
arm's missing. It's his hand and the part of his forearm.
Right.
You know, it's yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It
And Channing Tatum is going to defend his brother no matter what,
Yeah.
even if he's going to lose this fight. I mean, where it's like this is a guy, you get all of his virtues and his values in one action, and then
Mhm.
you don't need to waste a lot of time with anything else.
Right. And it's I mean, as I've done improv, whatever, that's the
Yeah.
thing, is that your character has a filter, and just run everything through that filter. And sometimes a lot of people try to make these really like complicated, like 3-dimensional characters that have like, this is what they want, but this is where they lack, and they're an anti-hero, and they do all that. And sometimes that gets just bogged down. And sometimes it's easier just to say, this guy wants money, and he's this. And everything goes through that sort of lens.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, he was wronged by his brother who stole his money. And so they say, oh, okay, well, we got a new way for you to make money, and you just got to make explosions for us. And he just kind of digs explosions. And then, like, later on, it's like, oh, yeah, he's like a science guy. And he's
trying to
he
explain
can
science.
write out all that stuff. You don't need to set that up. He's
Yeah.
the explosions guy. Of course, it's probably going to be some sort of science-related thing.
They didn't find the hand
Right.
until after they went back and got
Uh-huh.
more money.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I was with my mom. She's like, oh, they're going to find that hand. And I'm like, shut up, Mom. It's a fucking movie theater. You don't talk. I hit her. That was my story.
Gosh.
Yeah. So,
How did you like Adam Driver with the Luke Skywalker arm? At the
little
end?
Metal Gear Solid hand, Big
Yeah.
Boss hand. Yeah, it was an interesting hand. I wonder how those work. I don't those animatronic hands. Like if you're an
There's
amputee.
some of them that they hook up to your nerves. 'cause
Really?
Those are just like electric
Wow,
impulses.
that's awesome.
And so you're just able to like train it
I
enough.
want that. I kind of want that.
You want to be Robot Man?
Like,
You
dude,
just
that's
said
the
you
future.
didn't want a microchip in your hand.
But that's different, man.
Yeah,
It's
but
a robot
arm,
hand.
man. You could be like Jax.
Yeah, you could be super strong, man. You could have a
Pretty
gun on
cool.
it, dude. We need to do this. We need to do this.
You guys go onto the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. We're gonna kickstart
Well,
robot hands.
We'll start with a Kickstarter to get Trey to cut his arm off. And
Yeah.
we'll have a separate Kickstarter to get him
Get my robot arm.
get a robot arm.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm always interested in how they do CGI like that. That like just with the arm, because obviously Adam Driver is not an amputee.
Right.
So
It was a pretty thick
mhm.
Yeah.
forearm.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he was just kind of like winging it,
Mhm.
and then they just had like whatever, a sleeve on
'Cause
or
you-
something. But yeah, no, it looked good.
Yeah, it looked really good.
It'd be really uncomfortable to shoot that.
I also sometimes I'll wear like a blue,
Just a blue
yeah, or a green thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I know they did that with Forrest Gump, but yeah,
With
they use like
Lieutenant Diane?
tricks. Diane, Lieutenant Diane.
And I didn't realize it until I looked it up earlier, but Fish, Joe Bang's younger brother, is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
Interesting.
Something Quaid, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Matt Quaid or something like that.
Was he the one with the long hair?
The long hair.
The one who
Okay.
looked like the SNL guy, Bill
Hader?
Bill Hader, yeah.
Yes.
In Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, another great film.
Which
Yes.
those two brothers I thought were great. The
Yeah,
way they
they're good.
interacted with each other. I thought they were able to kind of play on the just stupid redneck, like actually like dumb characters.
Yeah,
Like,
and they weren't too
with-
cheesy either.
right, without like really hitting you in the face with it.
Yeah.
Like, it was dumb, but it didn't make you feel like, I don't know. It didn't feel so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. So
How
give
many
it-
lives and halves?
let's say 5 labs and halves.
Wow, out of
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Full 5?
I'm an A++ kind of guy. It's either all or nothing. For me.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. I'd give it 3.5
3.5
labs and a halves.
Okay.
I'm coming in with 5 labs and a half as well. I come
All right.
away with, if I come away watching a movie with, I don't have anything bad to say about it, I can't give it anything but
and-
5 laughs and a
I-
half.
Maybe
Maybe
when
I
I
should
listen to
bump
a
it
John
up to-
Denver song.
To 4 labs and a halves.
All right.
Just because I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, obviously it's not the best movie that I've ever seen, so I'm not gonna give it 5.
Sure. I think when it comes down to it, is you should go watch it. You should go see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Support it, and specifically knock people buying tickets for Annabelle 2.
Sure.
Just knock it right out of their
Knock
hands.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
What movie is coming out next that we need to review? I guess it's Mother, right?
Mother's not until December, I don't think.
No, I think it's this month or September. I just saw a preview for it.
I mean, there's previews for it.
I thought it was next month.
I don't
What's
think
Mother?
So. That's the new Darren Aronofsky,
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence.
What
movie.
is that
Right.
movie even about? My question. Why is it called Mother? Do you know?
Beats me.
All right.
I know that someone comes to their house and it's like a horror sort of thing.
A horror thing?
Yeah, a horror thing.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's coming
That's
out
the next one,
September
right?
8th.
When is that coming out?
September 8th.
September
Okay.
8th.
Yeah, so
That's a week before Mother.
Okay. Man, we got some movies coming up.
let's see, Nut Job 2.
I was gonna say Lego Ninjago movie, but yeah, Nutjob 2 probably takes the animation cake.
What I want to see next, I think I want to see Wind River next. That's the Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen
Okay.
movie. It looks kind of like
Kind of looks like River Wild.
It kind of looks like a let's say Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh.
Speaking of, are they ever making a girl who kicked the hornet's nest?
I don't know.
She kicked the hornet's nest?
That's what happens next.
Hmm.
She kicks the hornet's nest and then she plays with fire.
Yes, I think so. I
And
thought.
then she takes down the male patriarch. Right? Was that the fourth one?
Yes.
Oh.
She had no
She battles
eyebrows, so
sexism.
she
Yeah.
has to be a feminist.
Sh-
What are you looking at, Trey?
I have some movie dates on here. I thought
Okay.
I did at least. I thought I did.
Oh,
Maybe I
you have
don't.
no movies on there.
Oh no. I do have a schedule somewhere. I think I have a Google schedule.
Back to Logan Lucky. I was reading up on the Wikipedia page and whatnot and saw that apparently Michael Shannon was originally cast to play. I'm thinking he was maybe Adam Driver's,
I think that
Okay, yeah.
that would
Character.
make a lot of sense.
which this is the first time on the cast, so first time I get to talk about Michael Shannon. I love Michael Shannon.
Who's your favorite actor?
I don't know if he's my favorite actor, but I've really enjoyed everything he's been in. He's in every Jeff Nichols movie, and I think Jeff Nichols.
Yeah.
I love all of his movies.
Did you see Midnight
Like,
Special?
I saw Midnight Special.
I need to see that.
I really enjoyed
Okay.
it. And then he was awesome in Nocturnal Animals,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
which he ended up getting an Oscar nom for that, which I
Okay.
thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But so that would have been cool to see him in that role, but I still think Adam Driver did really well.
Mm-hmm.
If whenever the next Michael Shannon movie comes out, we can review that one.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like to watch Midnight Special pretty soon because I guess Akira was its influence, and I'm like a big anime weeaboo now with Akira, so I gotta watch things that reference Akira.
Yeah.
Did you watch it yet, or are you still?
No,
holding?
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I probably won't before next week because
Oh,
I'm
that's
going
all
to
good.
Chicago.
Ooh, you're going to Chicago next week?
I'm going to Chicago Wednesday.
Okay. You'll
And
be
I'll
back?
I'll be back Saturday.
All right, cool.
I just won't have time to watch it.
No, I 100% understand. I'm not in a hurry to get it back. You're good. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'll watch
It's all
it.
good.
Don't worry.
Maybe we can do like favorite actors next week or something.
Or we could do the other thing that I was planning on talking about.
Oh, we could do that too.
We can do both. It's fine.
Oh, movie theater topic?
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Next week we'll talk about movie theaters and why some things are good and some things are bad about the movie theaters that you go into.
Okay. I have some Twitter questions if you want to do that before we
Hey,
end.
let's do it.
All right. Sorry to hold you. Well, we got 10 minutes.
I'm not trying to
All right.
escape or anything.
So I feel bad for our friend Chris the Fields. We've neglected him
have we?
in the last few weeks.
Hmm.
He's been asking questions and we haven't answered him on the Film and Games cast. So
Oh no.
we'll give little Chris the Fields his due.
Okay.
So Chris asks, "Hey Adam, please answer truthfully.
Me?
Do you?
Personally?
Yes, you
Only
personally.
to me. Okay.
Adam, please answer truthfully. Do you like memes?"
Do I like memes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like memes. There was a meme today of Donald Trump looking at the sun and then Kramer opening the door with the red light coming through, and I enjoyed that one.
Uh huh.
No, I like memes. if you're asking me if I like every meme from one meme account being sent to me,
I don't do that anymore. I sent you 3 high quality memes
you
recently.
Did. You sent me good memes.
The one in the parkway or the tunnel is amazing.
Which one was that?
The one where the kids are like, it looks like 50 kids or 100 kids are going to prom, and they're like hanging out the back of the window.
Right. Yeah,
and they 5 cars crash, and they just all get out like they're just running around this tunnel.
Hey guys, describing memes that I haven't seen is not.
Show them the meme. Show them the meme.
First of all, this is
I want to contribute here.
It's not a meme.
It's a video.
It's just a video.
Yeah,
but because it's on the internet, it's a meme.
What is not a meme anymore?
God, it's incredible.
We may run into a grapefruit situation. But there's also there's things I don't like about memes. Like today, the headline talking about how Nicolas Cage was returning his dinosaur skull to Mongolia. That happened 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's old news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all these people who are like, haha, look at this is funny. It's like, no, they're just recycling shit posters who...
Well, it's sort of like the ticket, though. The ticket will, they'll play a drop that's like 3 years old, and then they get caught up on something years ago.
Well, I mean, memes can have lasting value, but something like news...
Sure, yeah. I hear you.
News-based memes are in the time, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no callbacks.
Right.
Okay.
To that.
All right.
But something like a recurring meme,
Mm-hmm.
like Rick rolling or whatever, might have a little bit more longevity.
Sure.
Even though
there's a new meme where there's like a guy holding hands with a girl, and then there's another girl who's like walking away.
I saw that. Yeah.
I think that's a good format.
It's a good one.
Right.
That's good on the meme economy.
Yeah. And there's now one.
Bye.
It's like man, woman, or something else. And I don't know. It's kind of dumb, but it's a meme that's going on now.
Yeah, I saw another one where it's a guy with a bear trap, and it's basically a two panel shot of one of him like punching into the bear trap, and then him pulling his hand away as it's closed.
I saw that. Yep.
And that's just it's applicable to
it's
so many
things. It's a good
things.
meme.
Oh, it had started.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's all good.
Next
Chris the Fields asks, "Hey Trey, Adam, and Spencer.
Oh,
what is your
no way
favorite?"
he said Spencer.
He didn't say Spencer. I'm just putting him in.
I was like, man, we got a new question.
What is your favorite?
My wife.
That's cheating.
Well, if I don't answer that, I'm in trouble.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's true.
All
She's
right.
the best.
She's the best.
She makes good spaghetti, and she makes 3-Eye Raven.
Hey,
Cupcakes.
it's a spaghetti.
Mm.
That's another meme. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti's a TV character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another not meme.
Turned meme.
You know what I like the most?
What?
Cake farts.
Another meme.
That's a meme.
Yeah, there you go.
I like memes. I just like this
That's
podcast.
your favorite?
Yeah. Just memes.
Your favorite.
Or just the memes.
Okay.
Chris the Fields asks, "Hey, Trey, Adam, and Spencer, what is the best way to eat cheese?"
If you're at a party with a bunch of people, you're in college, the people that are there are in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese is a big craze, as in heroin mixed with Tylenol PM, but mostly heroin, as Kumail Nanjiani says, which is a great joke. Then you tell them, hey, I'm bringing cheese to the party, and then everybody's like, Adam does heroin, and then you bring a block of Colby Jack cheese, and then you eat it just all night, straight off the block, and then you get super constipated.
Yes.
That's Italian chef kiss.
Mwah. It's Italian.
It's enjoyable.
I would say if you're really interested, just look up Ted Cruz describing queso. You'll never eat queso again.
I don't want to. Well, I love queso. I don't want to listen to
that.
No video.
Best way to eat cheese is string cheese, baby.
Yeah, string cheese is great. I like rolling it up with some meat.
String cheese?
No, just like mozzarella. You put the meat. You put like a little salami.
You said mozzarella, kind of funny.
You're gonna put the mozzarella. You put a little gabagoo on top. You roll it up. You stick it in your mouth. It's a fita fici.
There we go. It is a
fita fici.
Camey's always coming.
All right, Cristobal asks, okay, who is an actor, actress?
Is this a different Cristobal? Krista Fields and
No,
Krista Ball?
it's just Krista Ball.
Okay.
It's a different person.
Can you spell it?
Cristobal.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is an actor/actress whose involvement makes you automatically interested in a
Oh.
movie?
Oh, speak of the devil, Michael Shannon.
There you go, Michael Shannon.
Don't
I
call
know.
him the devil.
I think he's a great character actor. I don't. There's just something about him. Really stole my heart in Nocturnal Animals with
Mhm.
his southern accent. And just take no shits attitude.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think we've talked about Tom Hardy
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit on this show. I really like Tom Hardy. One, I don't think he's like my favorite actor, but I think he makes good choices for movies he does. Michael Cera.
Really? Okay.
I think that if Michael Cera's in a movie, generally the movies that cast Michael Cera
Mm-hmm.
kind of are like on a similar wavelength
Mm-hmm.
as me. And while he may not be like my favorite personally, I feel like I would
You know what you're getting
definitely,
into.
I would definitely be interested. And
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I know exactly what kind of movie it would be. It may not be my favorite, but I feel like it'd be a high floor, low ceiling sort of thing.
Mhm.
That's kind of just like right in my sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. This may be a little cheating. I feel that way with I guess too Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. I think they all. Like, I know if they're the star of the movie, it's
Right.
probably going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are two. And again, it's like I don't know if they're my favorite, but I know like Leonardo DiCaprio's in this movie. It's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a really well written, well acted movie.
The Aviator.
Yeah, I love that movie. I sat through the whole thing. I usually stop and have to do something else in between movies, and that one I sat through the whole thing
Wow.
at home. Not like in a movie theater. I'll watch the whole thing in a movie theater, but like if I'm watching it at home, I'm usually pausing 30 minutes in doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, same with Brad Pitt. I think maybe to a lesser extent Brad Pitt because he's in a lot of things, but if it's a really cool premise and he's in it, it's probably going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
So
And one more. I would have up until the Mummy, the new Mummy. Tom Cruise, I feel like had a lot of hits back to back for me.
he's
as an action
mm-hmm.
for action movies like Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You mean Live, Die, Repeat?
Live, Die, Repeat. Sorry, Live, Die, Repeat. was one of the best action movies of the last 10 years that
Mhm.
I've seen. The Mission Impossible movies I think are always pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that just knowing that little Tom Cruise is out there doing his own
Dude.
stunts
Yeah.
is pretty cool
Yeah.
for me. So
It's such a weird, because usually when you get these actors who they're just weird in real life, it kind of, sometimes it hurts, but I don't think it's hurt with Tom Cruise.
right.
Like, he's still really good, and his movies are pretty good too still. Like, it's...
Another one, I'll just throw it out there, Vin Diesel.
Yes.
If Vin Diesel
Or The Rock. I'll put The Rock on there too.
Well, The Rock's in it. Like I wasn't like that interested in San Andreas.
Yeah.
Right. The Rock is in
And
so many movies.
I don't know. It's just Vin Diesel, mostly because I'm kind of amazed at like Triple X. It's like everyone wants to fuck Vin Diesel, and it's just like, oh my god, this is the sexiest man I've ever seen. Like at least The Rock is like ripped.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's like kind of bloated, like
Truly a Corona man.
very weird look, just kind of odd looking.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I just always am interested in how people use him in movies because
Yeah.
it generally seems to be the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Right.
In the
But I don't
world.
think the director's vision ever matters when Vin Diesel is in the
no.
movie. It is no. I'm gonna come down the mountain on my longboard, and then we're gonna watch the soccer game because it's what Vin Diesel would do.
He also had a bunch of videos today about the eclipse.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you sent one.
Yeah, one of them I wasn't sure which one was my favorite, and he posted like 3. One of them was how it just like blew his mind and how it just made him think about how small we are here on Earth and how we all need to just get along and get to.
And then another was just kind of recapping how Riddick was the #1 DVD. Just thanking the fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vin Diesel, larger than life guy.
Yeah. He's going to be gone for like 7 minutes, and now we'll see exactly how closely Trey listens to this when he goes back to edit it.
Oh, this will be fun. What could we talk about that Trey would definitely want to edit out?
Oh, boy. I mean, we spent a lot of time on Antichrist
Yeah.
already, and he very quickly said he didn't want to talk about it the second he brought it up at the beginning of the episode.
No, I've not seen Antichrist. Let's quickly Google Antichrist and see what kind of information we can
See
talk
what kind
about
of
on there.
bean slittings going on. He could have at least left us with like a question before he left.
Here, keep
He was
on
the
talking
one-
about the answer you just finished.
Oh, you're
answering.
wrapping up now. Keep talking about it. Oh my God, I got a lot of.
Is Obama in Antichrist?
Yeah, this is what'll get him to cut it out. Obama, the main star of Antichrist. It's a, I don't know, the opposite of it, of Michael Moore film.
How did this only make $2.5 million?
Antichrist?
Yeah.
A lot of places wouldn't show it. It was a NC-17
Oh God, yeah.
specifically, so that throws out a bunch.
Yeah. Still,
Already.
I'm pretty sure Part 1 of Nympho made like, let me see what it made. Part 1 made $10 million. The total budget for volumes 1 and 2 was only $4.7 million. So Shia LaBeouf at this stage in his career was not really demanding too much money.
This was well, I mean, it was post holes. So,
Yeah, which is really
so
the
he
apex.
was off into the stratosphere.
I don't
And
know. Crystal Skull was really where he
then- Okay,
assumed that role of Mutt Williams and
Uh-huh.
just really launched that career.
right. The
That was
name
peak.
that's just burned into your skull,
Mutt Williams, baby.
Uh,
That motorcycle driving, sword wielding bad boy.
Man, dude, they talked about having Tom Hardy do a new Indiana Jones movie.
God, please no. This is something we could have talked about when we were talking about Logan Lucky, where it says, please give me something that is original.
Yeah,
I,
right.
I don't
And-
need another Indiana Jones movie to go see a movie.
yeah. It's just not like something that you need to have like super deep characters for if they're just gonna last for 2 hours and then be gone and out of your life for the rest of forever.
Right. So Antichrist, starring Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah, Fahey had it turned on, so I heard everything you're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think Fahey liked what we were talking about?
I don't
earlier?
know. We'll ask him.
Okay.
I agree, though. We need some original content. No more Indiana Jones.
God, please.
Yeah.
Although, when I first saw Crystal Skull, I walked out of the theater and said, that was all right. And
Yeah.
then everybody else around
Yeah.
me was, oh, God, that was so awful. And I was like, I have a pretty thing about me is it takes a lot for me to say that it was like such a bad movie.
Yeah.
The Circle, objectively the worst movie I've ever seen. And then the worst movie I'd seen in theaters before that was Monkey Bone. So that tells you how, how
Far back.
lenient I am with
Mhm.
movies where, I mean, Monkey Bone was the worst thing I'd ever seen. But we should do a podcast on The Circle.
We could.
Although nobody freaking saw The Circle.
I wish the only thing keeping me from doing it is that I would need a little refresher and to put that on for any amount of time. I don't know. I feel like I still remember a bunch of it just because I hated it so
I
much.
remember enough to know I never want to see that again.
Mhm.
It's not. There's nothing redeemable about it that would allow you to
I hear
watch
it goes nowhere.
Right. And where it does go is the most illogical way.
Yeah.
Right. It kind of sets you up for like a moral, and then it undercuts it at the very
Mhm.
end.
Yeah. And they also have this master plan of building a data warehouse, a huge server room in a abandoned like water system, like this dank, wet area that is not temperature controlled, and they want to store the world's data in there.
Yeah.
Like, no server will survive.
It was like specifically made for floods.
Right.
This is made for floods.
And they just wanted to put all their electronic equipment in.
And the richest company in the world was trying to cut costs on their storage,
Yeah.
on their data warehouse.
Next question, Trey.
I was going to add on that first question,
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Anything he
Yeah.
does. Okay. Geoffrey Holland asks.
With a G?
Yeah, Geoffrey.
Ooh.
Geoffrey.
I'm a fan of Jeff with a G.
What video game based? Oh, I didn't realize this is okay. This is relevant. It's
keep
fine.
it going.
Do you want it? Do you want it? I know this isn't a video. Because I'll ask for questions. I'll ask for questions, and people will send me video game questions. I'm not reading its FilmsCast, but it's whatever.
It's okay.
What video game based movie do you think should actually be made, like worth pursuing?
Okay, so Madden the movie.
You mean Ballers the movie?
Yeah, Ballers the movie.
No, Madden the movie would be just regular NFL games on a movie screen.
Where you quit after the halftime when you're down 24-0.
Right. You only throw
only kickoff, only fourth downs.
Yeah, you
conversions.
go for it on fourth downs. Always onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
No, give me a Spyro the Dragon movie.
All right, I'm into that.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think there's stuff you could do with like Portal, where you get some backstory on
Portal would be a cool movie.
I think you talk a lot about world building. I think doing a game that has a good world, not necessarily. I think BioShock would work.
Yes,
because I think the story is strong, but the world is amazing, and the kind of the history of Rapture is amazing. I think that could work if they did some original story about
that game. Kind of plays like a movie in a lot of ways.
It is. I think when you get into like Uncharted or The Last of Us or even Metal Gear, you start. It works for the video game, but it's not going to work in on screen because it's already, I don't know. There's kind of a disconnect with Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid is anime. It's pretty much anime meets Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So it won't. They're trying to make a live action version. I don't know how good it's going to be. It's the director of Kong Skull Island's doing it.
Oh, right.
And he's like really passionate about it. But
I love Kong Skull Island.
Yeah,
so
it's great. But
we'll
see how it. I mean, I want it to turn out great because I love Metal Gear. But the more because I'm doing these video game film schools on Metal Gear, and the more I do these, the more I realize how ridiculous. I love them. Right. But they're anime. They're ridiculous. They don't make sense.
Do you feel that these movies that are so heavily story-based may not lend as much to a movie? Because otherwise you're kind of just have to stick to that story structure more or less, and you have to condense it, whereas you could take, an idea like
Rapture, I think.
Battleship.
Yeah.
Starring Rihanna.
I think the biggest problem with video game adaptations is video games have a sense of you're playing. You have agency
you're the one who's
on the
making
story.
The choices.
Even in like The Last of Us, that is very heavily story based. You have agency. Not as much as say, a Fallout but you still have some kind of agency.
Right.
So, but even with that though, I don't know. I think there's a disconnect because I think it would work better as a TV show, honestly, because the whole theory is that with the reason TV actors don't usually translate into movie actors is because you have more of a personal relationship with that actor because they're in your home, they're in a smaller screen, whereas the big screen, you're only there for an hour, 2 hours, and they're larger than life, and so it doesn't translate. Where with video games, it's sort of similar to TV where you're playing this game for hours, and it's on a smaller screen, and so it would lend more to a TV show, I think. Something like a Mass Effect.
Sly Cooper, the movie.
Let's do it. Super Mario Bros. 2, the movie.
Just watch the one that was already made.
Yeah, the first one was already so good.
I know. Chris the Fields asks, are you finally going to answer my questions this time? Yeah, we're doing that. He also asks...
It's a little late for that.
Yeah, he asks, what makes a good cheesecake?
Cheese.
Okay. Perry Dattel asks...
Well, you're just not going to get my opinion on it?
Oh, you want your opinion? What makes a good cheesecake?
The crust.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
give me that crust.
baby.
Everything else could be garbage, but you can
give me
that crust.
Sweet hounded graham cracker.
Perry Dattel asks, fuck, marry, kill, Minions, Shrek, or the Emoji Movie?
Okay, so the Emoji Movie, not the emojis from the Emoji
You know what? How about
Movie.
just the emoji? Yeah, the emojis.
Okay, see, because that's a different question.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of those emojis...
Is there a pussy emoji yet?
Is there a pussy emoji?
There's that
Can we
peach.
cut that?
Has that line ever been uttered on a podcast or anywhere ever?
I 100% guarantee someone's asked, "Is there a pussy emoji?"
Is there a pussy emoji?
There's something close enough.
Yeah, there's that peach, which is
That
butts.
peach.
Okay, so fuck, marry, kill. Shrek. Shrek, as in.
Let's just do the
Shrek
movie.
the ogre.
Let's do the movie.
So the DVD.
Yeah. Of
Is this
Shrek.
the Shrek universe or just Shrek?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's.
Like, can I? Oh, it's a girl drag.
Oh, it's a girl dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, I like you.
Because once you get into the universe, you also get like Snow White.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know,
Mhm.
we've all had those thoughts.
There she is, asleep. What do you do?
Oh, okay, Spencer. All
You-
right.
you
We see
kiss
where
her
you're.
and she wakes up.
Yeah. Okay.
You wake her up,
Sure.
say, may I?
I don't.
You jostle.
Hey, you wake?
Bitch, get
You
up.
up? Shoot her a text.
Bitch, you up.
I'm a man.
Let's go with the characters
Let
themselves.
me tell
It's
ya.
a little easier. Let me tell you.
I'm marry the Shrek gang because they're all about, friendship.
That's a
Coming
girl
together.
dragon.
Yeah, they'll make me waffles in the morning.
Gonna make waffles.
I'm making waffles.
You gonna stay up late? So I'm man of stars in the morning. I'm making waffles.
Shrek will do anything for the woman, or in this case, man that he loves.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like layers.
Yeah,
He does, yeah. Yeah, layers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like cakes.
Right. I'm gonna fuck those minions. 'Cause they're probably into some freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
They-
are.
They like stay young, and I guess I'm gonna kill those emoji,
Mm-hmm.
even though there's a lot of that lady in the red dress. Hubba hubba.
Oh God! Can I tell you one that I've done and fought with Lexi about?
Sure.
Lexi's my wife.
Mm.
FMK. You're doing Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots.
Okay.
Okay. So
For me, it's obvious, but what do you guys think?
I'll let you go first, Trey, because I just did the emoji one that you didn't do.
Man.
Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots.
So you gotta marry. Oh, you know what? Shrek's probably a good person to marry. He's probably gonna like take care of you. He's probably gonna, he's gonna be a little messy, but he's there for you. I think
Mm-hmm.
Donkey would be a good fuck, and kill Puss in Boots because it's a fucking cat in boots.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna flip Donkey and Shrek.
Okay,
I'm gonna marry Donkey. Donkey, all he wants to do is he just wants to have a good time.
make waffles.
Mhm.
He's very virile.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
He's-
never said how many times he has sex
With a dragon.
Yeah, that is true.
but he has a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And she
Um,
never seems dissatisfied.
Oh no, she immediately is way into him.
She wants
Blowing
for
those-
nothing.
Those heart smoke rings. Puss in Boots has got to be the one to
Yeah.
die.
Right.
Because he's bad, and he had his own spinoff.
You did.
and effectively killed the Shrek franchise. The Shrek.
I blame Puss in Boots.
And then, Shrek. You get underneath those layers, and I mean, he is literally a monster.
It'd
in
be great
bed.
for a one-night stand.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head with what I thought.
Okay.
I think as long as you're killing Puss in Boots, you're right.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust Puss in Boots. He's a scoundrel.
He is.
He's not going to be there for you in the morning.
Mhm.
No. Antonio Banderas, he's scary. He's all Spanish.
Right.
I don't trust the Spanish.
Right.
Can't trust him. I have 2 more questions.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Sorry, this is really taking long, but we're having
No.
fun here.
Yeah.
I have
getting into good-
Sean Bass. He goes,
From the radio.
yes, from radio, Sean Bass. He says, do we overrate Seven, the film Seven?
I see it on a lot of lists for like favorite movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand. I could hear an argument for it being overrated.
He also mentioned Shawshank, which I think kind of has the same thing, where it's you hear about it so much, you hear about the twist so much that if you've heard the twist 1,000 times and you see it, and you've seen some of the imagery, you've seen the obese guy, okay,
Right.
this is what happens, yeah. I think, it could be. Same with Shawshank, you know the twist, he gets out.
But I think it's, as a credit to those movies, they're not Shyamalanian.
No,
where
that's very
it's
true.
like all about the twist.
Right.
I think Shawshank is one of the most rewatchable movies.
Yeah.
And it's because you can
Ever.
predict the twist the whole
Right.
time,
Mhm.
but that doesn't matter because
Yep.
it's so built around the characters that the twist doesn't matter. It's
Mhm.
just you want to see what happens to these characters.
Right.
I think with Seven as well, is it's so, the set design and the production design
Yes.
is so visceral and it's so well done. I enjoyed it for that, and just
Mhm.
sort of the noir feel of it, that just the grungy, disgusting feel of the whole thing. Yeah, and again, I agree with you on Shawshank. It's very rewatchable. Yeah, the twist isn't the whole thing, but I think when you hear about something so many times,
Right.
it just depends. It's perspective,
Yeah.
But I
Overrated.
also think that can sometimes lead to things being underrated,
Yeah.
where there's just like kind of a general backlash against it, which I feel like Avatar
Yeah.
is a movie that it's Space Pocahontas, which it is, but also you can do that with so many movies
Mhm.
and just be like, yeah, this is a lot like another movie in a different skin. It got hatred because it was the biggest movie of all time,
Yeah.
and it was also,
Kind
not,
of forgettable.
not necessarily the strongest plot.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we're going to see that with Forrest Gump, because that movie has gotten such hate in the last few years.
yeah,
I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I thought
No.
it's kind of cool, but
yeah.
I think it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
like Shawshank as far as rewatchable.
Right.
Mhm.
It's I think it's just awesome how they kind of walk you through. It's a movie that I think is so well done as far as the music direction,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
the music really walks you through where you are, and I think it's got one of the best soundtracks of any movie that I've seen.
Mhm.
I lost my virginity to Forrest Gump.
Oh, to him,
The man.
like to Tom
we
Hanks.
we could dedicate a podcast to
I mean,
that.
okay, hey, final question by the Chris Gross, our friend,
Chris the
over there.
Gross.
Chris the Gross, Christopher the Gross, like Oscar the Grouch.
Okay.
Chris the Gross. If you had to send a Shrek character into the past to kill/defend John Connor, who would it be? I guess it's one to kill, one to defend Sean Connor.
Okay.
John
Wait, so
Connor.
one to kill and one to defend?
Yeah.
Or is it one
Kill
who could do
slash. You
both?
said kill/defend, but
Okay, so it's just whether you want them to be good or evil.
yeah.
Well, Shrek beat all those knights in that
Yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he didn't give a damn about his bad reputation.
Yeah, but nothing would happen without the gingerbread man.
That's
When
true.
he goes supersize,
Oh yeah, that's true.
you gotta be gingerbread man.
But also,
Fiona knows how to
What?
do bullet time moves, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Gingerbread Man snitches though.
That is true.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Yeah, he gave him up.
He did.
He just didn't want to lose his buttons.
Not my gumdrop. All right, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
doing
no,
too
no.
many of those. Oh, it's all good.
What Shrek character do you think, Trey? I feel like you're not giving as many answers to these.
Because I don't remember the sequels too much. Let me think here.
Fairy godmother.
The big bad wolf. I mean, he's in hiding. He's got an incognito.
Uh-huh.
He can hide as a grandma, and so goes over John Connor. Hey, I'm your grandma, and then he eats him.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I like
that's a
strategy.
good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah, never thought it would be the big bad wolf
Uh-huh.
until it was. I'll be back, said the big bad wolf.
That wolf is German in the movie, right?
Yeah, it's a German tale of
Ich bin back.
I'll be back.
Ooh.
Mm.
Don't scream in German.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all. That's
Bye.
that's another episode of Super FilmsCast 64. Please leave a comment. Please share this podcast with your friends. Eventually, we will be putting everything on YouTube pretty soon. Hopefully, eventually one day we can do a live broadcast, or at least record it so you can see what we look like and then never watch again. because
we don't want to scare them off.
No, don't scare them off. We're very attractive people. I have a lot of good features if you just kind of look at the top of my head. So yeah, we're gonna be putting these on YouTube. I'm gonna try to get them all up at once, but we'll see how that goes.
Trey has a huge bulge that you can see from above.
It's humongous. It's like a tumor. It's like an elephantitis down there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
more adjectives for that.
Yeah. Adam, where can we find you on the world?
On Twitter at the Fullertron, Venmo me at Adam Fullerton, and I'll answer your questions. Is that what I promised earlier?
Yeah. You'll answer the questions. You'll do something.
Yeah. If you give me $20, I'm going to answer you guys.
Mm-hmm. Where can we find you, Spencer? In the world.
I'm Coach Chucky everywhere.
Okay, Coach Chucky.
CHUCKY.
If you're in like a busy store or something, just kind of yell, Coach Chucky.
Yes, I'll be there.
He'll
be there.
around.
Okay.
It's a Beetlejuice type of scenario.
Mm.
Yeah, you say it 3 times and you're
Just
there.
once for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not so picky.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Wow. What fun having a guest, Trey. Finally took some pressure off us.
Is that a slight? Because I haven't gotten that one person yet. I told you I was going to get.
Who?
We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
Ooh.
Anyway.
I don't remember this, so it wasn't that.
Please leave a review. Please tell us what you think of the show. We really appreciate your feedback. We really don't get a lot of it, and I'm not saying that as a joke. Like, we would really love to get a lot more feedback. So please let us know what you think. Send us an email or a tweet or just review it. Give us 5 stars. If you don't give us 5 stars, don't review it.
I think that's a pretty simple rule that everyone should follow.
Yep.
Smash that 5-star.
Yeah. Smash that 5-star. Thank you, Spencer. Adam, Spencer, I'll see you guys later.
Trey,
Have a good day.
crying?
Yeah, I'm crying now. So sad.
It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. And you will know when you get there. It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's a road that you go when you die. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. We'll go. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again on Rainbow Road. It's called a road. It's called a Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go.